You have a budget of $10,000 and want something that's actually fun to drive? Well, then this list is for you, because these are the top 5 cars that you should consider purchasing in 2024 under that $10,000 mark. Now, to start off with, we have the Chevrolet Cobalt SS with a supercharged 4-cylinder and a manual transmission. These cars are an absolute blast to drive because they have a great power to weight ratio. Also, because they're based on an economy car, they get fairly decent gas mileage and they have a decent amount of room. Also, they are very underrated at this point, so they're easy to find and super cheap when you do. Next is this 9th generation Honda Civic Si, and these are just now starting to hit that $10,000 or less mark because they are aging a little bit. However, I think they have aged really well. And actually, back in the day, I had a friend that had one brand new and I loved it. He had the sedan version, and with the amount of room that was in that car and the build quality, it felt like a very nice car, especially given the price, even new. And now that these are cheaper, even better. Now, because these are Hondas, you get all the benefits of having a Honda. So that means great aftermarket support where you can get almost any part that you can think of, and great OEM part support. So it means you're never really going to be able to not fix your car. And because it's a Honda, again, they're bulletproof. Next is this Mazda Speed 3. Now, I used to see a lot of these back in the day, and they used to be talked about a little bit more, but recently you never see one anymore. And I've always loved this design. I think they look very aggressive, and these are actually one of the bigger cars on the list, being a hatchback, so you get a lot of the practicality out of them. Now, these only came in a manual, and they came with a turbocharged 4-cylinder, and they were a blast to drive because they had a great amount of torque steer, so it made them a little bit more interactive to drive. Now, number 4 is this Audi S4. These cars are very much forgotten, and they are absolutely amazing sounding. They have a 5-cylinder engine that sounds almost like a baby V10, and I've always just loved the way these look. And they have a great transmission and a great drivetrain. Just an absolute blast all the way around, and they look very clean. And in this blue color, I just love the way it looks. Last on this list is a very underrated car that many of you have also forgotten, and that is the Mercedes C55. Now, these cars are very much overshadowed by the later generation C63 because it made the bone-stomping 500 horsepower. Now, these do make a little bit less, but nothing to scoff at 362 horsepower from a Mercedes V8 with that rear wheel drive. What else can you ask for? Especially at this price point, you can get a great example that looks very clean, very new. A lot of them tend to be under 100,000 miles, and personally, I love the way these cars look. Now, some people have thought that they look sort of like a stubby E-Class. However, I think it just looks like what it is, and it looks great. Now, that concludes the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and maybe you end up purchasing one of these vehicles. If you think that something else needs to be on this list, comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe and click that notification bell. And if you're liking this series, check out my last video about the top 5 cars under $25,000.